Well, welcome back to Here in Hoptown. We're continuing our series, sitting down with city council members, our new city council members, getting to know them a little better as they begin to serve Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And today we're sitting down with Brittanie Bogard. She is council member or council lady for Ward 9. And she was sworn in December and began serving for city council and serving the city of Hopkinsville and her constituents. And so welcome, Brittanie. We're glad to have you here today.
Thank you, Miss Amanda. I'm glad to be here.
And we've been talking a little bit before we started this interview and hit record, but I asked you what inspired you to run for city council, and you had a fabulous answer. You were talking about involvement in the community, and you kind of had a scope of Hopkinsville already.
So working at a micro level, I was able to volunteer in different areas such as Salvation Army, in different youth programs, and I was able to see that individuals in this community needed certain assistance and resources that they just weren't receiving those resources. Mm-hmm. And so I knew that getting at a macro level, I would be able to help push that to them. And so some people have this misconception that these resources aren't there, but in fact that they are. You know, sometimes you just need the right person to get those resources to them. And that's what I wanted to do. And I've been able to do that within the last 3 months. And I'm very thankful for the opportunity to be able to do that as well.
So you were already involved in a lot of these pockets of the community. And then basically, like you said, you just decided you want to get in a position where you can move the needle.
Yes, ma'am. Also, I attended Hopkinsville Community College, and I got an Associates of Art and Associates of Science there. And while I was there, Dr. Young nominated me to be a student regent. I won the election, and I was able to sit as a student regent for a representative for the state of Kentucky for all KCTCS colleges.
Oh, wonderful.
And so I was able to get a lot accomplished there as well. And I think that is what motivated me to be able to push forward and fight at a higher level as well, not just for post-secondary education, but just for individuals across the state of Kentucky individually.
Well, you kind of already touched on this, but one of my next questions was, talk a little bit about your background and how it's kind of prepared you for this role.
I grew up and I was justice involved, and I was in and out of different group homes and kind of dropped out of school in like the 8th and 9th grade. And I continued the cycle as an adult. I accumulated 45 charges. The last time I was incarcerated, I decided that I no longer wanted to do that when I came home. I started getting my life back on track, and I came in contact with Nikki Chambers, and she was able to assist me with that by plugging me in with the Goodwill Opportunity Center, Hopkinsville Community College. I was able to sign up for the Hopkinsville Community College and get expungement, and I was able to get 45 charges expunged and a pardon from our Governor Andy Beshear. And so I'm just very thankful for people that in this community that has poured into me, such as Nikki Chambers, and I'm just grateful.
You've been involved with these organizations, but you've been on the other side, on these organizations, receiving these services that so you've come from both perspectives. I could see how that would equip you immensely.
Yes, ma'am.
Understanding those who need to be served and those who are serving.
Yes, ma'am.
And kind of bridging that gap and knowing what needs to be done. And now you've gotten into a place where you can push the needle and make some of those decisions.
And I've also been able to assist over 300 individuals alongside Jeannie Bowling with getting expungements and pardons right here in this community. I'm very grateful for that opportunity, and Goodwill has poured back into me. They have also sent me to Washington, D.C. last year to advocate for expungements and pardons at a federal level, and I was really excited. But I will tell you, the one thing I did not like about it is that the 4 days I was there, I walked 37 miles, and my feet hurt by the time I got home.
Get you some good walking shoes. If you're going to D.C., that is the best piece of advice. Good walking shoes,
No
sister.
one told me that.
Did you wear heels?
Yes.
Good job. You're going to have stellar calf muscles. That is impressive. So you won the election in December. What's the first thing you did when you learned that you won the election?
Honestly, I went home and went to sleep. So the entire time I was campaigning, I stood on the corner of 21st and Virginia holding a Vote Bogard sign, and I was tired.
You worked in. Now you're like, whew, okay, go home and rest, recuperate, because there's work to be done, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, well, talking about the work, what are some of the top priorities for your term?
Keeping taxes low.
Okay,
it's very important because, it's just, we're going through a hard time. Our economy, it's rough, and I see from a different angle of what the impact is when we have high taxes. And I just want to be able to advocate for individuals that's, has stood in my place before. And so that's very important to me. Also, infrastructure improvements. Mm-hmm. I was able to advocate alongside Council Member Jason Bell and Council Member Van Smith. And we have an upcoming project that we're excited that we was able to get accomplished, and that's getting the Walnut Street Park repaved and new basketball goals. Okay. And I'm excited about that. And advocating for public safety. A few days ago, I was talking to an officer, and he had told me that he went to Alabama for some training, and that they had a public safety complex. And so I got to looking at what that consisted of, and it's like all emergency personnel in one building taking classes and training together and working together. And I think that advocating for one of those would be absolutely wonderful for this community, to have all of them in one building working together.
Is there a specific initiative? You kind of touched on this. You've kind of achieved some of your projects you've had in mind, but a specific initiative that you're most excited to work on?
Again, keeping taxes low is so important.
You're excited about saving that money. I like it. Well, one of the concerns a lot of citizens have had, it's been brought up at several of our town hall meetings, and it's been brought up at little focus groups that we've done. It's brought to our attention that sometimes citizens feel disconnected from their council member. How do you plan to stay connected with your constituents? And maybe not just your constituents, but as a representative of Hopkinsville, how do you stay connected with the population?
I think taking surveys are a good approach. Mm-hmm. I also believe attending the town halls that we host, if available, and I've been to several of them, and I've taken notes, and I've heard concerns from my constituents, such as Judge John Atkins. He came and spoke about the lily pads behind the public library and getting those improved. And, that was just wonderful to hear someone come and speak about that, and I completely agree with them. I walked the trail, and so when he came and spoke, I hadn't been over there in a while, and I went that next day. And it's important that we hear those things, because then we're able to go look and see for ourselves.
Right. So just being involved in general and what's already available out there, showing up for the meetings, talking to the people.
And then when people express their concerns about certain things, go check it out for yourself.
What do you think is the biggest challenges facing Hopkinsville right now?
I will tell you that I think that we lack a community center for the youth. I think that having a community center for the youth is very important, and it'll play a crucial role in minimizing the juvenile crime rate.
It would be a free space?
It would be
is
a
that
free
where you're
space.
Okay.
And, it would look something like maybe if, retired police officers could volunteer in it and keep the kids proactive and, just mentor with them. I think that would be a good thing.
Okay. All right. I like it. You've talked about a lot of the initiatives you want to achieve. You've talked about a lot of the work you've already done. When your term is finished, what do you want people to say about you?
That I was a dedicated and effective leader, and while being the elected city council member, that I changed lives and impacted the community in a positive way.
All right. You want to change lives?
Yes.
Yes. I like it. We've asked some serious questions, but I'm going to ask some fun ones really quick.
Okay. Shoot.
All right. Easy peasy. You don't have to really prep for these. It's kind of a personality thing. We've asked all of our council members so far, but it just kind of gives us an insight on your personality. Now, I've said it before. It's not scientific. But first question, coffee, sweet tea, or soda?
Coffee.
Ooh, coffee. Girl after my own heart. You are energetic, goal-driven, and you thrive under pressure. Would you say that's accurate?
I do.
All right. All right. Favorite local event? Now, it's hard to pick a favorite, so we're not playing favorites here, but just off the top of your head, Western Kentucky State Fair, Summer Salute, or Trail of Tears Powwow?
Ooh.
I know. We have fun events.
I volunteer at all three.
Ooh, okay. Well, no pressure. Don't get mad at her.
Let's see here. I would have to say the Western Kentucky State Fair.
The State Fair. Okay. You are outgoing. You love community engagement and social interaction.
Absolutely.
All right.
Me.
Okay. Your leadership style. I have a page full of notes, or a page full of leadership styles here. Pick one. Which one would you say is most you?
I can only pick one?
Only one.
Bold.
Bold. Okay, bold. Let's see. You're action-oriented, not afraid to make the tough calls. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I wake up at 3 a.m. every morning.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know if that's just delayed night owl or a super early bird. Which would you say that is?
I'd say half and half.
Oh, my word. Okay. Well, if you were an early bird, let's say you're disciplined, structured, goal-oriented, likely to favor morning community engagements. But on the night owl side, your other side is creative, adaptable, reflective, and may thrive in solving late-night city challenges. Are you up at 3 a.m. trying to solve the problems of Hopkinsville?
And doing my homework because I graduate from Murray State May 2025 with my Bachelor's of Social Work.
Okay, so you are just one busy lady. You have a lot of irons in the fire here. All right, another fun one here I want to know. I like to eat, one of my favorite pastimes. What are your favorite top places to eat maybe in Hopkinsville?
Horseshoe, Peggy Ray's Soda Shop, and the Krusty Pig. Peggy Ray's, the owner will come out and just, mingle with you while you're there eating and check on you. And nice. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
And the first time I went over to the Krusty Pig, they did the same way. I mean, my daughter, she's 9 years old and left our waiter a $20 tip.
Oh, my goodness.
She was super impressed. I can't remember his name, but she had asked for chicken Alfredo. Mm-hmm. And he said, we don't have that here. And she just made this very sad face. And he said, just hold on. And he walked to the back and he came back with chicken Alfredo for her.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, I'm not sure where he got the noodles, but she was so happy. And I was very thankful that they did that for her.
I know a lot of people like to offer advice or give you some feedback. What is the best piece of advice that you've gotten since being on City Council?
Nikki Chambers told me this morning.
Oh, okay.
Stay true to your goal, mission, and ethics. Be careful of sharing information that isn't public with anyone, even colleagues.
Oh.
That's very important because when you are a city council member, you are in the public's eye, and they criticize everything that you do or that you think about.
You're under a microscope.
Yes, absolutely. And it's important to know that you got to take care of your mental health while you are in an elected seat.
That's amazing advice. Is there anything else? We've covered a lot today that you want to share or leave with our listeners before we sign off?
Just that I'm very thankful for the opportunity to be the city council member for Ward 9, and I hope to make really great changes for the city while I'm sitting in this seat.
Well, I'm really pleased. It's been really great to sit down with you today and just get to know you. I'm pleased with this interview. I think you've provided a lot of insight. I think you got a lot of good things going for your ward, for Hopkinsville, for you personally. You have a lot of great things going on. So thank you for sitting down with us. And those of you out there listening, thank you for tuning in. Continue to tune in to here in Hoptown. We're going to be getting to know more of our I want to say ward members, that's not accurate. More of our city council members who are representing the wards across Hopkinsville. We're here to represent you. So listen in to hear about all things Hopkinsville, Kentucky.